When I start shooting, all y'all gonna clear out.
New update we were waiting for has finally dropped, and oh my god, it's brutal. There will be some server downtime, some maintenance. You guys pause and look at the time so you know when and when you cannot play the game and when the game will be back available. This is version 1.02.01, and the scope of this update, it says update content. Number 1 is the in-game collaboration UT Cross Tekken. Make sure you go to the Tekken Lounge so you can see all of the new advertisement they have everywhere. Get used to it because over the lifespan of Tekken, we're going to see so much more of it. It says new feature, the Tekken shop will be implemented. I wonder if you guys are still angry about it. Me, I kind of don't care. I don't buy skins anyways. Here's the interesting one. Measures against players discovered cheating in ranked. I'm expecting when this happens, we'll see screenshots on Twitter, on Reddit. It's going to be chaos. Expect a follow-up video from me. Functional improvements, bug fixes, behavior properties of moves will be adjusted for some characters. This one's huge. Buffs and nerfs. We'll talk about that in a second. Pretty cool. Fixing a lot of bugs, fixing a lot of functional improvements. Really good to see them tackling all aspects of the game. So these first 5 changes, you can pause and read it if you want, but these are very specific things. Like I remember seeing people saying like, I'm in practice mode and the game is telling me that this move is minus 14 when actually it's minus 12 and I can't punish it. So that's probably the things that they're changing. It's very simple stuff, so let's keep going. Another common, this says hold moves. So is this a grab? Behavior. In Tekken 8, hold techniques can be reversed when fully charged, excluding techniques that dodge attacks like Azucena's Liberator. However, some characters were still able to reverse them, such as Jin's parry, Leroy Smith's twin Dragon Gate, which was unintended. So this seems like more so of a Azucena buff because her auto parry situation is supposed to put her into a position where she can counter you, but it seems like these moves that has like multiple follow-ups was still hitting her as she was moving. So I don't want to say a buff, but her stance works as intended. Chain throws is one that I know you guys will be interested in. It says the issue where chain throws couldn't be broken in a specific situation has been addressed and fixed. Wall throws and wall hits. The issue where certain throws could still connect while an opponent was being hit against the wall even after wall breaks has been corrected. This was something that Eris brought up on Rip's podcast, and it shows just how much the developers are watching. When you broke a wall, you were still able to do a wall throw even though the wall still doesn't exist anymore. They fixed that. It doesn't happen. So these two here, the stumble, stun, and strong aerial spike face down, is more so once again just correcting the character's orientation. This game is a 3D game, and sometimes when you're screwing your opponent or comboing them, they could get twists and turns. So these two changes are just making it so they're facing the proper direction and your combo works. For actual characters, this is a buff for Alyssa's behavior, adjusted the collision detection with the opponent to make it more difficult to slip under her floating opponents by extending the collision upwards, so increase their hitbox. This is a nerf. The behavior of the opponent on the second hit in midair has been altered. When hitting an airborne opponent, the behavior after the third attack, tornado triggered, has been changed. The change was made as an unintended follow-up attacks were connecting when the third hit missed in air. A buff for Alyssa, up forward 1-2, it now breaks the floor on the final hit. That's a big buff. For Asuka, she has a few things here. For forward 1+2, the collision detection between characters has been adjusted to make it less likely for positions to be swamped during aerial combos. That's good. Her final one, a icon has been added below the health gauge to indicate whether new... Oh, this is what they were talking about during the Tekken talk. So basically when all these characters have like that charge thing they do, Asuka, Leo, Brian Fury, is the ones that I know of. You now have an icon to see when they have their, I don't know what they call it, but basically there's an icon. If you play those characters, look at your health bar, you'll know exactly what I'm talking about. Azucena, she got 3 buffs. Liberator, fix the ability to evade low heat smash, unblockable attacks, and certain effects-based attacks. Correct the issue where attempting to evade high immediately after the end of heat would cause heat to activate again. What? With heat activating their Liberator, take high attacks from opponents, increase the attack range to reduce the occurrence of the range. Increase the range? Wow. So her Liberator just got 3 buffs, basically. This is just the icon they added for Brian Fury. Claudio, they also added his icon, but something else they did for him is back 4-2. Reduce the knockback distance when the attack is blocked, making it easier for the opponent to counter hit. Wow. Okay, easier to punish. For Dragunov only got 2 nerfs? What? Dragunov only got 2 nerfs. Back 3+4 expanded the hurt box for the legs, alleviating the issue where certain Low's attacks would whiff. While crouching down forward 1 on hit 4, the hitbox of the second attack has been reduced. When the first hit connects with a downed opponent, the second hit would also connect, causing more combo damage than intended. This has been adjusted. Nice. So Feng Wei, both of these are just fixing issues with his attacks. Unintended stuff was occurring. So Harang, Jun, and Kazuya all got the same buff, but for their particular move. So look at the moves they identify. But it says adjusted the collision detection with the opponent to make it more difficult to slip under floating opponents by extending the collision upwards. King, he has 3 changes. 2 of them buffs, 1 is a nerf. The input for throw escape has been changed from 1. They changed the throw escape button from 1 to 2. The correction has been made to the throw escape was not behaving as originally intended. Kuma and Panda, I really don't want to read these. It's more so just fixing like stuff. Lars has 2 changes as well. Expanded the hitbox, mitigating situations where attacks would whiff in close proximity to the opponent, correcting the issue where performing specific actions resulted in shorter recovery time than expected. Leroy Smith, the knockback on the first hit and second hits when landing a down hit has been increased. Changes has been made as it was possible in specific situations to deal high combo damage than intended. Okay. After summoning Sugar, when attacks hit Leroy, Sugar's hitbox will now disappear. Oh, so you basically can't trade with Sugar anymore. Sugar will still launch you and you will hit Leroy, so that no longer happens. If you hit Leroy, Sugar stands down. Lily has 1 change. This is a nerf. Nina has 2 changes as well. One is just fixing her heat dash and the other is fixing her recoverable gauge extinguisher move. Oh, she has a 3rd attack as well. Damage dealt from 25. Oh, they nerfed her damage. They nerfed her damage on Twisted Nightmare by 5 points, 20 to 25. For Reina, she has 3 changes. On the first and second hit of these 2 attacks, the behavior on landing down hit with the first hit has been modified. Changes made as it was possible in specific situations to deal high combo damage than intended. For her other attack, the issues where a transition throw occurred on airborne hits has been corrected. The other one says the behavior on counter hit has been aligned with that of normal hits. Simple changes there for Reina, simple changes. Sanchez, he only has 1 change. The throw escape input window has been corrected. All of Twitter can now stop crying about this move. Zhao Yu, the character everyone's talking about on Twitter. Bro, why they had to do this to Yoshimitsu? Yoshimitsu has 3 nerfs. 3 nerfs. Come on, bro. Come on. The damage has been nerfed from 24 to 20. The behavior on side hits and back hits has been modified. Oh my god. Health recovery on hit had what they nerfed the health? They nerfed the health recovery from 4 to 2. Health recovery from recoverable health on hit from 10 to 5. Heat timer. Why did they do that? They changed the heat timer to 300. They really just tried to destroy the Flash. They were like, we are going to destroy this move. They nerfed it twice. The damage has been changed from 21 to 20. What's the point? The behavior on side hits and back hits has been modified. The hitbox of the attack has been reduced. They nerfed the range, mitigating the ease with which it connects on the opponent moving laterally. Did they wow, I gotta get into the lab and test this. They nerfed the Flash in heat and out of heat like 6 times. What was this? This whole update was just to hit the Flash or what? What about Dragunov? I'm about to start crying on Twitter. What about Dragunov? That's crazy. I'm about to start pulling the whataboutism on Twitter. Watch this. Forward 2. Daring hit from front 2. The recovery of the frames has been extended by the recovery 4 frames. That move, they just destroyed that move. The transition time from the opponent to enter a down state has been accelerated by 5 frames. This change has been made as unintended follow-up attacks were connecting. What about Dragunov? Just keep saying it. What about Dragunov? Now, whether or not they will do another update, I don't know. Because, see, even though this update was massive, right? They add the store, they add a lot of other features. They're not really buffing or nerfing characters. And I guess it's too early for us to be expecting the meta to change. We're still exploring these characters and identifying new ways to play these characters. And for them to come in and change everything before we fully learned it, maybe that isn't the proper way to go about it. So maybe the slow and steady pace that they're doing is the way to go. So subscribe to the channel and leave a like on the video. I'll see you in the next one. Thank you for watching, and bye-bye.